Now that you know how to create your own WordPress.com blog or website, it's important to look at the pros and cons of using WordPress.com to power your website. The first and most important pro is that WordPress.com comes with automatic setup, backup, and security. This is a very real concern for anyone managing their own website, and having this built in and being assured that Automatic, the company that manages WordPress.com, will take care of your content, make sure it doesn't disappear, and make sure it doesn't get hacked is a very good thing. You also get instant networking because WordPress.com is a blogging network, meaning when you publish content onto WordPress.com, people will automatically be notified that you are new to the system and they'll come and see your content. If you are creating your own website, it may take some time to get people to even visit your site to begin with, but on WordPress.com, some visitors are guaranteed. And once visitors come in and you start interacting with them through comments and through their own blogs, you'll build a following automatically. And that is something that you just cannot do on your own without a lot of work. The final pro is that WordPress.com is either free or cheap. If you use the free option and it works for you, that's great. And even if you pay for the full premium upgrade that gives you all the extra features, it is still going to be cheaper than managing a site on your own server or on a rented server. That's simply because managing your own site takes a lot of time and it costs a lot of money. So that is something to keep in mind when you're considering whether or not to upgrade to the premium package. On the con side, the one thing that people run into almost immediately is that you can't have any theme you want. In fact, on WordPress.com, you can only have WordPress.com approved themes, and they have limited customization options. You also can't create your own themes for WordPress.com for the same reason. To get a theme onto WordPress.com, you need to get it approved through a very stringent approval process. So as a result, when you go onto the web and you see a really cool WordPress site that has a crazy theme with lots of interesting functionality, chances are that theme will not be available to you on WordPress.com, and even if you ask for it, it will never appear. So if you want to either use a very custom theme or you want to build your own themes, you need a self-hosted WordPress site. You also can't have plugins on WordPress.com, and plugins are often the reason why people go to WordPress in the first place. Plugins allow you to extend WordPress with functionality that goes far beyond what WordPress itself does. You can create e-commerce sites and social networks, and you can add lots of interesting functionality to your self-hosted WordPress site using plugins. But on WordPress.com, there are no plugins available to you. That said, a lot of the popular functionality you find in plugins are also available from WordPress.com. Things like sharing buttons and contact forms were baked into WordPress.com because these plugins were popular on self-hosted WordPress sites. There's an interesting side note here. A lot of self-hosted WordPress users are now installing the Jetpack plugin because it gives them the same functionalities that are built into WordPress.com. So it's not like you get nothing when you use WordPress.com. You just can't choose what plugins you want to install. Finally, you can't get third-party ads on WordPress.com. A lot of people, when they set up their blogs, want to have Google AdSense in their blog. That's simply not going to happen on WordPress.com. They are working on their own advertising platform, but you're not going to be able to include your own third-party ads. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because if you think about it, if you are creating a blog on WordPress.com, are you doing it to publish your own creative content? Or are you doing it just to put up ads? I hope and I think the answer is you want to publish your own content. And if so, the ads are just going to get in the way. So if you're fine with what you see here, you want the automatic setup and backup and security, and you like the instant networking, WordPress.com is definitely the way to go. But if you want to dive further into what WordPress can offer, create custom themes, use plugins, and maybe add ads or other external features, you should take a close look at self-hosted WordPress sites and install WordPress on your own server. If that's the path you want to go check out my WordPress Essential Training course right here in the lynda.com library.